It's crazy.
That's fantastic.
Like, this is just a thing I decided to do on a whim, and I've just kept doing it because for once in my life, I will commit to something, damn it.
You're doing it weekly, right?
Yeah, 2 episodes a week.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's like, it's not like I'm doing one every day, which is crazy, but it's also,
Right.
it's not been 20 weeks, it's.
Well, because I know you started in quarantine, so I was like, has it been 20? I would not be surprised if it had been 20 weeks of quarantine.
It has not been 20 weeks. It has been, well, it's been 10 since I started doing this, but it's been a long time now that we've been in
No.
quarantine.
Yes.
Okay, and the boom, and I think that's it. I think I have done the thing now. Yeah, I did the
Very
thing.
nice.
Yeah, where you like get to watch me like doing all the doohickeys of sharing.
Yes, it's great. I
Yeah.
see something that says live on YouTube, so I'm assuming that's correct.
Yes, yes. Matt said he would take care of posting the link for me today, so he just made a Facebook page. You were the first one to like it, actually.
Oh, very fantastic. I love it.
I know, super exciting. So, Chris, what's
Yes.
not wrong with your life?
Ooh, I would say honestly, especially in the current situation, one of the optimistic sides of this whole quarantine has been I'm in contact with friends I haven't been in regular contact with uh, constantly. It's been fantastic. Like
It's amazing.
it really is,
I mean, that's mostly why I'm doing a talk show.
right? It's really
Plus, it's less weird to like call up somebody that you haven't talked to since middle school, to be like, hey, you want to chat for half an hour? But like, oh no, it's a talk show.
yes. It's a great format to do it in. Like I should do that even if I don't post it live on YouTube. I'm just going to take the format and just do it in my apartment by myself. It's great.
Yes, do it. Just call up friends. There is absolutely zero reason not to.
It's so true. I have plenty of time.
Yes. Okay, well, with that, it is time to watch the theme song. I know. Here we go.
Welcome to Krista's new talk show. It's really something, don't you know? There's a friend and maybe there's a cat. Maybe they'll take some time to chat. Her mother thinks she's funny.
I know it's
Her
great.
mother
Great
thinks
stage
she's
work.
funny. Her mother thinks she's funny. And maybe you will too.
Are you ready for this?
I think that's a bop.
Thanks.
Like that.
Credit for the theme song, yes, Pat Short. And I did the all of the lovely filming and amazing green screen.
That's fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
Available on iTunes, I'm assuming.
Oh no.
No, not yet. Not yet, anyway. Gotcha.
Right. We wait for until there's a demand,
Gotcha.
So thank you for joining me for episode 20 of My Mother Thinks I'm Funny. My guest today is the very special actor, comedian, and former waiter, Chris Pearson. Thank you for being here.
I am so excited. What's funny is I actually am a lifelong fan of talk shows and now podcasts. But
Wait,
and
are
I've
you
always-
really?
Oh, easily. Like my favorite Halloween episodes of talk shows are one of my favorite things ever. So I've always wanted to be on one, and this is my first. So very excited.
Congratulations! I feel so flattered. You could
Very
probably tell me all of the things that I need to be doing better.
No, this is going to be great.
Well, like I keep hearing like, oh, you should watch so and so for research, and like, oh, take a look at. I don't know. I remember an episode of the Bonnie Hunt show where she like talked about seeing this waitress whose skirt caught fire and like burned all the way up. And so that she had like a strip in the middle of her skirt all the way up her back, and you could see her underwear through it, and like the girl was wearing matching underwear, and Bonnie Hunt was just so impressed by it. And like, I don't know, that's what I think
like,
a talk show is.
Hey, I don't think you're wrong. It's like that. It's like, are you looking at the underwear or the fire or what are you like? How?
Right, like I don't know. Somehow, like it just caught fire, burned all the way up, and like it was
That is crazy.
matching underwear. And yeah, I mean, I don't think the Bonnie Hunt show lasted very long, and I don't really know who Bonnie Hunt is, but yeah, you
Barry
can be
Maguire, but
you can be my I don't know.
yes, great.
But you can be my like show consultant.
I love it.
Yes. Send me stuff on the boop boops.
I am sitting on a tall stool, so you know, even that alone is like Kelly and
Oh, that's
Ryan,
very
so.
good. I'm sitting on a theater chair in a
Ooh,
bedroom. Yeah.
ah, nice.
Yeah, that's what happens. You get a lot of chairs. Um, okay, so sometimes I have been forgetting to ask this part, but I should not because it's usually interesting. Is there a cat near you? If so, please introduce me to your cat.
Gotcha. So the answer is yes. I live with like three other roommates, so it's not my cat. And I don't know where it currently is in the apartment.
So it's not
But
near you.
it's in between, it's in a small vicinity, but not right next to me.
Got it. Yes. Yeah. I feel like it's almost like social etiquette now to like ask about the cat because like, in some episodes, like the cat will just like walk across, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like this happens and wouldn't it be better to know beforehand and to know the name of the cat beforehand? So,
Very much so. Like I definitely, the one thing in order of things I've seen the most on Zoom, it's my friends and then cat butts. Like that's the order.
yes. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I still think there needs to be like some kind of talk show or something where it's just cats. It's like a cat like WHO, or like I could make that
Yeah.
happen. Like,
I think you got that.
yeah, like I've got two cats. They're pretty patient. Like we can go into webinar mode. We can make that happen.
I've met your cats. They're lovely.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, they're very sweet. Uh so do you have a moment, like a mundane realization to share?
So it's like, I mean, it feels like everything is a moment right now.
Huh.
But
Yeah. Huh.
I just recently hit like 5 years here in New York City.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I always have that moment where like, huh, I live in New York City. Like that's crazy. Like that is insane. So I often like just like I'll just walk somewhere and see something like, oh yeah, wait, I live in New York. That's because I grew up on the West Coast for the most part. We
Where
moved around a lot, but all very West Coast.
so I'm
Um,
also West Coast. Remind me where West Coast you are.
so
Oh, now?
it's Reno, Phoenix, Los Angeles. There was
Okay.
a smidge of Iowa thrown in at one point, but that's
That's
neither
not
here nor
West
there.
Coast.
No, it's not.
Okay, Reno. All right. Yeah, I'm familiar with like the Reno-esque feel. The very much like Gold Country foothills. Like it's a real thing.
It's a unique vibe.
When people think of California, they do not think of that. Um, and granted, Reno is on Nevada border, obviously, but
But it's right there, yeah.
it's right there. Yeah, it's special.
It's weird, like like most kids when they go do like to the laundromat with their parents, they can go play arcade games. Where in Reno, like you can watch your mom play slots right in the laundromat.
Yeah, depending on which side of the town you are.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, in Oregon they have something similar. They have the like the video lottery, which is essentially slots, but it's the lottery.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So in
But
like in normal bars, there will be the video lottery.
oh yeah, Keno, is that?
That they will also have that, but they
It's
like
different
they
thing.
have like slots.
Oh,
I mean, I don't think that there's an actual pull thing, but it is like it's a video lottery. It's a huge thing in Oregon. It's ridiculous.
I gotta get there. That sounds great.
I mean, the only time I'm not a big gambler myself. I've gambled only a few times in my life, but I used to work in a casino because that Gold Country is also tribal, a lot of
Yeah.
it. Yep. So it was a casino, and I worked in the fancy restaurant, and I was under 21, so I could not go onto the casino floor because I was too young. So like, enter and exit through the employee area
Wow.
and everything. Like I was not allowed on the floor of the casino. And then, I went back and visited after I was 21, and one of the other servers, her husband, was like, hanging out waiting for her. And he handed me $100 bill, and he said, you put this in a machine, and like any money that you make, you get half and I get half. And I was like, okay, like I am totally willing to gamble with somebody else's money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So I put it in a machine, and it was like $200.
That's some good like beginner's luck, I guess.
I think so. Like my first time ever doing it. So like, I gambled a little bit more, but like I walked out of there with $80 of not my money,
That is a win.
Right. Yeah. Like very much a win. So that is really like my only experience gambling. I don't. Yeah. But Reno, did you gamble a lot?
No, I mean, like you, I'm not a big gambler. I think because I was like raised around it. It's that exciting. It's it's legal there, so it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'll like, if I'm like somewhere like at a casino and I have like I'll do like $20 on a like a nickel spot.
Entertainment.
It's like they bring you a drink, and I'm like, I'm basically paying for the drink to sit there and maybe make money. I'm not very lucky at those things, though.
I don't think I've ever been very lucky. I don't really understand luck.
Yeah, me neither.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But that's a good, yeah. Congratulations. 5 years in New York. That's very exciting.
Thank you very much. I love it here. It's amazing.
Are you in in Manhattan, or are you outside?
I have not seen Manhattan in 3 months. I'm in Queens. I'm in Astoria.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom is in Manhattan, and anytime I walk from, I'll take the bus from here, and the bus lets you out like right by the UN, and so sometimes I will walk from there to her apartment, which is up by Lincoln Center.
Okay.
And you walk by so many landmarks. Like I'm just walking, and like I can't I could kick a pigeon into any landmark.
Yeah, that's it's like huh.
Yeah, and it's like it's normal, and you can be like, oh, there's tourists, right? Like,
yeah.
Even though I am always a tourist, I don't feel like a tourist.
It's fun to be a tourist. Like I lived in Los Angeles for 14 years, and like when I knew I was moving, I was like, oh, what haven't I done? And I was like, there's a million. 14 years, and there's still like a bunch of stuff I didn't quite get to. Like
when you live somewhere, you think about touring it.
Right.
Yeah, like I didn't go to the Golden Gate until after I'd left the Bay Area.
Mm.
I mean, I may have been as a kid, or like I may have been, just to drive over it.
Right.
Because we had to go somewhere, But like, we don't do, other than like taking other people around to tour your city. You don't really tour places. Like I still haven't been to a lot of places up here.
I mean, the little bit of time I spent in Maine, it was gorgeous, but there's so much more I wanted to do, for sure.
Oh, there's so much more to do. I know that. But I haven't seen Bar Harbor,
Oh,
never been up there. Yeah. But it is, so many pretty things to look at.
Oh,
so, okay, your mom is still asleep.
yes.
So she didn't send a joke because we did this all very last minute, which is fine. But we have a picture of her, which I'm going to share. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Here we go. And it's a picture of you, so that's like a double bonus.
Look at that. So yeah, that's
what is
Reno.
this? Oh, it's Reno.
Yeah, that's from Reno. That's the last time I visited, which was like right before I moved here to New York. They have that huge bowling alley that I think is in the movie Kingpin. It's like where all the big bowling convention stuff happens. So yeah, that's
so
the
all
magical
of
bowling alley.
Everything on the background here. These are like framed pictures of famous bowlers.
I am going to, if I was to wager a bet, since we're talking about gambling, yes, I would put my money on that. Yes.
That's awesome. To you become a champion bowler and you have to go have this professional photo taken.
I know, right? It's funny because I know when I was there, I didn't even really clock that or pay attention. I was like, oh, it's just the hall of white people. Like, great. But I saw the big shiny colorful ball. I was like, yeah, that. let's go take a picture in front of that.
It's a really cute picture of your mom too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
She's
so,
adorable.
Do you have a joke that maybe she would tell? I know you sent me that the screenshot of the text messages. Do you want me to share that, or is there?
Yeah, do that because
Okay.
she's not very much of a joke teller.
Right.
But that's an example of what her humor is.
Okay. All right. Here. Oh, here we go. So many windows and things. Boom, boom, boom. You know what?
Yeah, I think this is from 2011.
Okay. 2011. That explains the bubbles.
Yes. Get ready for a flashback from your text screen, folks.
Yes, very much. Okay, here we go.
Happening. Nice.
So this was your April 1st joke.
Yeah, this was an April Fool's joke, and I was like on the bus when the text came in. So she's all like, "Chris, I just got home from the clinic, and they said I was pregnant." And for real, for like a few seconds, I was like, oh, "Wait, what?" Because I'm an only child, like single mother, only child. It's just pretty much been the two of us, and I had the moment of like, "Do I finally have a sibling?"
Aw.
But then I figured it out, and then I just, tried to joke that right with her.
But that's so cute that like she tried to April Fool's you.
I know, right? So yeah, and then she gets very protective, as you can see in that next little bubble. So that's my mom.
That's good. That's good. That's like a good sense of humor.
Yes.
So does your mom think that you're funny?
Yes, I believe so. She does seem to giggle at me. We had a special Pride match for CSC New York City here on Sunday, and that was the first one she's gotten to like watch live.
Okay.
And she said she enjoyed it, so I'm gonna believe her.
That's good. Has she seen you like live in person?
Not with Comedy Sports.
Okay.
And like a different improv troupe years ago. And then I growing up, I did a lot of like community theater stuff, so she definitely saw all of that.
What was your favorite community theater role?
Ooh, it's between two. We did a production of Schoolhouse Rocks. That was super, super fun. It's just playful. And then I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Really Rosie. It's based on Marie Sendak books, and then the music's by Carole King.
Oh, yes, I have heard of that. We were watching the like animated thing a little while ago.
Yes, that's exactly it. So there's a stage version of that, and I got to be Pierre, the like I don't care guy, and that was a blast.
That seems really fun.
Nah.
Yeah, like I would never think of that, but I bet it's great.
It was super fun. And like, I'm not a good singer, so like any sort of character role was always good and fun for me.
I always did character roles as well. I did Mrs. Shin in Music Man in high school.
Oh, very nice.
Which the best part about that is that you don't have to be in Shibupi.
Right? You're like, sit backstage, you're like, I'm good.
I'm sorry, I have to be in a Grecian urn. I cannot be in your like in your little musical.
Can't deal with your Shibupi, not right now.
I can't be in Shibupi. I need to be a Grecian urn. Yeah.
Amazing.
It is. It's very fun. Yeah. Highly recommend being a Grecian urn whenever you have.
Now that, I mean, again, building the bucket list, so it's going right on.
Yes, as it should. So what are you working on now that you want to like plug and talk about? You just did the Pride match with CSE New York. What else?
Yes. So essentially, I mean, thank goodness for Comedy Sports in this quarantine, because as I said, like, I'm a waiter, so that's how I make my money and where I spend a lot of my time. And that's not a thing right now. So it's not. So Comedy Sports matches have been keeping me sane, and it's been super fun. And I'm sure most people watching this know Comedy Sports, but if you don't, they have them all over the world. And so the different cities have invited people to come play with them. So that's been cool. It's kind of felt like traveling. So that's what I've been doing. We have, we're off this Saturday, because usually our shows are Saturdays at 6 Eastern. We're off this Saturday, 4th of July, but we're back the following week with a doubleheader, where on Saturday we are going against San Jose, and on Sunday we're going against Jersey Shore.
That's awesome. It's amazing how now we can like hit both coasts. There was a while ago I was in like 3 matches in one day in like 3 different time zones.
Right. Have you done a Manchester one yet?
Yes. Matt and I.
Completely different.
Matt and I were against Sean and Braun because we're like quarantining together, and so if you've got 2 people, you can kind of you get to do a little bit more of the like actually playing together, because you can like touch a person and not have a screen.
That's great. I'm gonna look for that match. I'm sure it's still up there somewhere. That sounds amazing.
Probably. Yeah. There are cats in it. I can tell you right now. Like, guaranteed there are cats in it.
Yeah. That checks out. That makes sense.
And you're doing match game as well, right? Or sorry, same game.
So the same game, it's also coming up. The 2 of you are making this magical thing come together.
I don't know anything.
Yeah. I mean, with loving talk shows, I also love game shows growing up. So I'm a huge fan of the match game. Obviously, like there's the Snatch game on RuPaul's Drag Race that's super fun to watch. So when Matt kind of put up the post, he's like, "Who wants to do this?" I was like, that's for me. That's something I like to do." And it's been a great process. Super exciting. In fact, just Matt will be proud. I got my Sharpies and these great big index cards. So
Those look beautiful.
I'm at the ready.
Yes, you are. Okay, what was your, like, if you had to pick a favorite, like, game show and a favorite talk show, what would they be?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the game show, there's a certain area of Family Feud, like the Richard Dawson era was very like, it doesn't, there might be some issues with it now, but at the time I enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
Family Feud is definitely a favorite. $1,000 Pyramid is probably the one I'd want to be on the most. And then in terms of a talk show, I mean, growing up, it was easily the Rosie O'Donnell show. Like that was seminal. Like that was a huge deal. Because, you know, especially like you live on the West Coast and you're a little like gay kid who's not out. There's this woman who like shows Broadway stuff all the time. So that was great. But like there was a period I watched The View every morning, or like Ellen, Regis and Kelly. In terms of late, like I remember watching I'm old enough to remember watching Johnny Carson with my mother. And then later Jay Leno, which looking back on, I was like, oh, that wasn't great. But as a kid, you don't know. But I've been to a taping of The Tonight Show. That was super fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you did live in LA, did you just like go to this all the time?
Not all the time. So Megan Mullally had a talk show for a hot minute. I saw that, which was very exciting because her guest that day was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who is a hero of mine. Tonight Show. I did The Price is Right one time. I didn't get on, but I did the whole, like, it's a day. It's a whole thing that you do. But that was super fun. I think I've done others, but I don't remember them at the top of my head.
I mean, you could have been, it wasn't like, I think Vanna White, before she was on Wheel of Fortune, was a contestant on Price is Right, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that. I love that.
I think so. You can like read her Wikipedia or something, but you know, who knows? You could have been the next Vanna if only you just stayed in LA.
I mean, I'm not dead yet, so I'm still. I keep dreaming.
You still have time. You still have time to be
exactly.
Vanna. Yeah.
I can point at letters with the best of them. So
you know, she doesn't even turn them anymore.
No. And I remember their transition. That's a transition. But like, it's like there was something like so satisfying about the whole turn, and then she just went up and like tapped it. I was like, oh, well, I thought it's exciting.
Yeah, I don't think she even touches it anymore.
Just kind of like
just...
walks by and be like, there it is.
Yeah, whatever. So, okay. You have a lot of time now. We all have a lot of time now. How are you, like, is there anything that you've done to, like, engage your impulses? Any kind of, like, silly thing where you, like, had the instinct to do it and then just were like, yeah, I'm just going to do it?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, there's, like, the good and the bad where, like, sometimes you're on Seamless and, like, yes, I'm just going to do it. And you order for 4, but you're by yourself. So there's that. Exactly. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's okay.
And then we were talking earlier about like kind of like not exploring where you live. I've done a little bit more of that here in Astoria because I haven't left Astoria, but it's nice to get out and kind of walk around a little bit. You know, it's close to a beautiful park, so that's been really nice. In terms of anything silly, not exactly. Like I mean, I threw myself a little Zoom party for my 5th anniversary in New York. That's silly, but that's
fun. Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, you keep saying Astoria, and I know that Astoria, Queens, obviously. There is an Astoria, Oregon, where I have been once, and if you are ever in Oregon, I highly encourage you to go, especially during the crab festival. They have a wine and crab festival every year where it's just adults getting drunk and eating crab, and I highly recommend going to this small little ocean town and eating a bunch of crab and drinking wine.
That is everything I want from life, truly.
Yes. So if you can make it out there.
Yes, I'm just waiting. I have
go to the other Astoria too.
Yes, I love that. And I've been to, you know, the East Coast Portland, so I got, you know, I can just do it all.
Yeah, you have both.
Exactly.
There's apparently no like original names of towns in Maine, which is
that's fine.
So fun to learn about. There's a California, Maine.
Wow.
There's a Mexico, there's a Sweden, there's a Norway. Like, it's no,
These are
it's
all city
actually
names in Maine?
yes, like
Wow.
legit. Like you can be from Mexico, Maine.
That's amazing.
I know.
Good job, Maine. I appreciate that. I feel like there's a comfort in it, you know?
Yeah, it's like you can kind of like would I be comforted living in California, Maine, slightly like you're real close to the Canadian border and just like up in the middle of nowhere? Like sure, yeah. Yeah, that could
Yeah,
be
why not?
nice. Yeah. It's like when you see a street sign, you're in like another city and you see a street sign and it's the same street that you have in your city. You're like, oh, I can just take that all the way home.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Which is probably more of a thing in LA than it is here on the East Coast.
Well, they have a lot of streets in LA, that is for sure.
So much driving.
I think what's funny is I don't know how to drive, so I never drove.
Really?
Yeah.
So you must have lived like downtown LA-ish.
I was in Koreatown, very close to downtown, so like that's where I lived. And then I worked in Beverly Hills, so that was like Vermont or Wilshire all the way down, and then played in like either Silver Lake or West Hollywood. So it was all very. They have 24-hour bus lines, so it was doable.
That's good. Yeah, I went to school at East Riverside, and I was living in Palm Springs, and that's 50 miles. It's a drive. It's a ways.
Yeah.
So I cannot imagine being down there without a car.
I love that you lived in Palm Springs. I love Palm Springs is great.
It is. It's very nice. Yeah, it's a really different culture. It's one that is very, like, it revolves around hospitality so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it's like there right now. I know, like I've seen like YouTube people or whatever, like will just go to Palm Springs for like a little week during this quarantine because it's kind of like quarantining, I guess. But yeah, with all the restaurants and everything, you're right. It's completely hospitality based.
Yeah, the whole thing is completely hospitality based, which is really interesting. Like I worked in a restaurant and in a hotel, and on my day off, like we went over to like a hotel pool, and then we like went over to a sushi restaurant, and then we went over to a bar, and like you're just doing all of the things that you do at work, but now you're doing it like it was crazy.
Oh, that's totally like especially being an adult in the serving industry. It's very much making money to go spend it at other restaurants.
Yeah, it's just this weird like loop.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, with that, I am going to play the little outro music that I've got.
Ooh.
I know, it's, you'd think that this was like a 4-star production value or something. No, you
I feel like I'm in the lap of luxury on a talk show. It's great.
Well, I mean, you're on your own stool, so how comfortable it is up to you. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, thanks for being on my show, Chris. It was lovely to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, it was exciting. My first time.
Yay!